Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Crypto Live. It is Monday, September 26th of 2022, and we're about to have a great show for all you guys. But thank you so much for joining us this morning. Here is the thing that everyone needs to keep their eyes on. If you are not looking at the Bitcoin chart, you need to, because today is the day. I believe by the end of the day, we will see a breakout in either direction, whether bullish or bearish. And we're going to be discussing which way probably we're going to see it happen here the rest of this show. I am still holding out some hope. Kelly Kellum is supposed to be joining us this morning. For those of you who follow him, though, on Twitter, he was in an accident over the weekend. So, I was able to talk to him a little bit the other day. He was good, but I'm not hearing back from him this morning. So if for some reason he's not able to join the show, we will continue on. But if he does, I'm really excited to get to hear and see his charts. We will keep you posted on if we hear back from him. But I am still joined by two fantastic co-hosts this morning. I got T-Shroom over here to my right. How are you doing this morning, T-Shroom?
Oh, I'm feeling so great. Some might say better than I deserve.
Some might say it. Some might say it. How was your weekend?
It could have been better. My Gators lost to Tennessee. But yeah, that was rough. But other than that, I had a good weekend.
I don't know which is worse, is the fact that the Gators lost, they're my second favorite team, or the fact they lost at the hands of the quarterback that should be at Virginia Tech right now, but our old coach drove away. Hendon Hooker is that dude. He should be a Hokie, but you know what?
Yeah,
work out the way.
It's rough.
We'll get away from my depression here for a second.
Rough.
And Smay, I got Smay over here to my left. How you doing this morning, Smay?
Guten Morgen.
Good morning. Just so you guys know, Smay has swayed me.
Is that French?
Okay.
It is not French, T-shirt. Let's not.
Is it Icelandic?
I'm now learning German with Smay. So here in a couple of months,
right.
Smay and I are start having these side conversations in German, and T-Shroom's just gonna be left out.
Yeah, even though I'm my heritage is German. You'd be surprised.
Maybe you should join the train.
German
Maybe you
myself.
should start learning German as well.
Hello, Tim. We get.
Hello, Smay. I have to learn more. I know how to order bread and coffee, brat, and Wasser, if I wanted Wasser. Wasser, bitte.
Yeah.
That means water, please.
Well, hold on, Tim. Let me help you out here. Let me help you out here. So if I say, we get, right?
That's how.
How are you?
you? Yes.
So then what you say es get, which means
Es geht.
I'm all right.
Oh, esket. Guys, we're about to jump into more crypto. There's some stories happening in the market pulse, but we're also going to discuss here a little bit today. There was an opinion piece by Jimmy Song. Some of you guys don't know who he is. He's a Bitcoin developer, also a Bitcoin maxi, who he has said that all altcoins are immoral. I would love to know what you guys think about that take. If you had not heard of it already, it's going to be very interesting. We're going to discuss that more later, but I want to start off before we jump into that market pulse with one of our absolute favorite things we do here, and that is read those green names of our members in chat. Smay, I'm going to throw it over to you, and let's go ahead and get some of those great green names read.
Wow, gee, I want to read some great green names, but I just want to say this green name segment is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts Coffee. It's keeping me going.
Wow.
All right. Not actually, guys, by the way. That's for legal reasons, that's a joke. Anyways, I'd like to read some green names here. We have here from the beautiful land of I have no idea. GS, Mitch Shaw, Queen.
Woo.
Grand Roofing Incorporated.
That was the end.
Well, I'm like charging up to find these
There
names.
we go. Yeah.
My scroll finger has to do some work today because, a lot of you guys just repeat things and not new people, so it's hard to find green names, new green names. So I keep repeating the same green names. So make sure at the beginning of the show you guys comment as much as possible. But here we have Crypto JMP, we got Josh Denham, we got GJ, we got Justin Eubanks, we got Mike Lowry, we got Tyler Main, we got Daniel J, we got, who else we got here? Let's see, I'm scrolling. A Mellow Fellow, Nick West, woo! Eric Brubaker, who else we got here? It's 420 Wood, Steve Shrum, I wonder who Steve Shrum is.
Steve Shrum.
Agent Gold, and all of you guys, shout out to you guys.
I love you.
Wow, that was intense right there at the end. If you guys are wondering what those green names are, those are our YouTube members. We love each and every single last one of you guys. Guess what? On Tuesday, mark your calendars, 11:30 tomorrow, we'll be having another membership stream.
I made a
You
mistake.
don't want to miss it. What did you make a mistake about?
Grand Roofing Incorporated. I need to say for Grand Roofing Incorporated.
I thought you did. Okay.
No, I didn't. He said I forgot him.
Anyway, we love each and every single one of you guys. Go ahead, and if you have not already, we got over 300 people watching with only 70 likes. Smash that like button. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel for more amazing content just like this. We go live every single day, 10 a.m. to we've been going to about 11:15 at this point, Eastern Standard Time. We got fantastic, what do we call it? Fantastic content coming out this weekend. T-Shroom, Zach, and myself did some fun outings.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil too much about what it's about, but you don't want to miss it. It'll be going out on Saturday at 10 a.m.
What about the weekend after that?
There's a lot of interesting content coming out, and we can't tell people all of what's happening there.
Yeah,
Smay is the mastermind behind, not this Saturday, the next Saturday. Smay is masterminding a video for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that, and just because you need to, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss those things. That's really important. I'm about to throw it over to T-Shroom for our morning market pulse. But our market pulse today is brought to you guys by Anthony Price. You guys know him. We love him. He is our CPA. And the reason why we are recommending him is because taxes are a headache and you do not want to get caught up with the IRS. And that is what they're doing this year. The IRS, like never before, is going after crypto enthusiasts. So make sure you are prepared. If you are not sure how to handle your taxes and how to handle those gains and you want to save as much money as possible, you're going to want a CPA. Anthony Price is the guy. He will give you a free 15-minute consultation, and he'll only take you as a client if he knows he will save you money. Give him a call. There's a link in the description down below. With that said, T-Shroom, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, it can mean only one thing, and that's that you are in the market pulse, baby. Let's do it. Smay, if you'll go to my screen, we're going to start off on the Fear and Greed Index, which is coming in hot at 21. So we have gone lower over the weekend, and we have emerged on Monday, continuing into extreme fear. So not great there, but you buy the fear, you sell the greed. At least that's the overall maxim. We're going to check out the November 2nd CME future predicting tool for the federal fund rate. That's coming out right now at 67%, 75 basis points. And 32%, 50 basis points. Won't dive into that too deeply. We'll take a look at the charts historically of what that looks like. And finally, this website, macrotrends.net, has actually printed the new leg up for interest rates. So you can see we have gone higher than those 2019 highs, and we're more than likely going to keep on chugging through 2022 higher. Looking at it historically, you can see we have been much higher. We've spent a lot of time here in the 3 to 6 range, 3 to 6.5 range, through from 1991, let's say, through December or March of 2008 was when we exited that range, and we are now entering back into that range for federal fund interest rates. Going to get into our stories here. Interpol slaps Terra co-founder Do Kwon with red notice report. So Interpol went ahead and did it. Interpol has reportedly approved South Korean prosecutors' request to issue a red notice against Do Kwon, the co-founder of collapsed Terra ecosystem, according to Bloomberg. Kwon has been charged with violating capital markets and rules in South Korea and faces legal challenges in multiple jurisdictions. Not a great time to be Do Kwon. Not a good year, really, to be Do Kwon. So he's had a tough year, and he's looking like it's going to be getting even harder. Tim, what do you think? Do you think this is justice is served, or do you think that Do Kwon here is getting chased by Interpol for the wrong reasons?
I mean, yeah, whether it's his fault or not, it's perception that's going to get him in there, and he it's unfortunate also that he has the name so changeable, Do. I love your pronunciation of his name. I believe it's Do Kwon, but I think that there's nothing at this point that can save him, even if he was set up to fail. That's the whole point up. If you're set up and they've set it up correctly, you're going to go down. So I believe Doe is in trouble.
Yeah. And before the Do Kwon story, I didn't know what a red notice even was. So now we have a little bit of information.
Oh yeah, he's on one of the most wanted.
Yeah. It's a big rough ski for Do Kwon there. Moving right on along, we've got a big story here out of California. The bit license bill was vetoed by Governor Gavin Newsom. And this is going to be a little bit of a tricky story for some of you, but try to stay along with me here. Over the last,
I love Gavin Newsom.
You may, Smay. Over the last several months, my administration has conducted extensive research and outreach to gather input on approaches that balance the benefits and risks to consumers, harmonized with federal rules and incorporate California values such as equity, inclusivity, and environmental protection. So he's been doing some research on crypto, him and his administration. And he also went on to say a more flexible approach is needed to ensure regulatory oversight can keep up with rapidly evolving technology and use cases. Use cases, seems like he knows some of the buzzwords, and is tailored with the proper tools to address trends and mitigate consumer harm. This was in the letter that Newsom wrote to kind of explain his position here, why he vetoed this bill. Now, some of you might be rushing to the conclusion, oh, Gavin Newsom, I hate him. He's going against crypto again. Well, not so fast. According to this August 31st article, which read California crypto licensing bill awaits governor's signature. You might recall this. We covered it in the Market Pulse when this came out. Now, what you'll want to remember, for those of you who are keeping score at home, is that critics of the bill included Blockchain Association. Blockchain Association, good guys, right? Pro-Bitcoin, for all the right reasons. And they understand the nuances of it to be able to take a position at the very low levels of policy, the nitty-gritty of policy like this one. And they said, back in August 31st, they said, the bill would only stifle innovation by creating short-sighted, unhelpful restrictions inconsistent with the governor's stated vision for crypto policy in California. The bill's licensing provisions are designed to install the same type of erroneous licensing and reporting regime that has stunted the growth of the crypto industry and limited access to safe and reliable crypto products and services in New York. This was, again, the Blockchain Association tweeted. So, T-Shroom, does that mean that what Governor Newsom did here is good? Well, it seems like, according to the Blockchain Association, that Governor Newsom's veto here is favorable for crypto in the long term. Now, you might be asking, well, when can we expect legislation and regulatory clarity in California? Well, Newsom said it would be premature to create a licensing regime without considering feedback from his executive order. Newsom wrote, he also pointed to the possibility of future federal legislation or regulation. So Newsom not wanting to get ahead of potential federal regulations, and he's definitely tapped in. If anybody's tapped in to what could happen at a federal level with crypto, it's definitely Newsom. He's a very high-ranking official in the DNC. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on potentially in the Biden administration and their thinking about crypto and the way that the Treasury might be looking to roll out legislation, or the SEC or the CFTC. So he's in the know there, kind of hinting. I'm not saying that he knows that there is going to be something happening even in this year or next year, but he's hinting towards that, right? And if anybody would know, he would. But he said it would be premature to create licensing regime without considering feedback from his executive order. So for those of you who don't know, he issued an executive order similar to what Biden did, kind of asking for research to be done on the crypto space, and he's yet to receive what he feels is the totality of that research. So a bill like this, the bit license bill, as it's been named, is premature to come out in his view. So honestly, I think Gavin Newsom does come out in favor of crypto on this one, but it's yet to be seen, because they could come out with an even worse bill once the state has been informed with the research that Gavin Newsom ordered, and it could be passed. So it's yet to be seen if he is a hero or villain for crypto here, but in this battle, he seemed to be a victor for pro-Bitcoin. Well, we're going to move on to some stories on the mining front. Bitcoin miner Iris Energy signs up to $100 million equity deal with B. Riley. So not going to read too much into this one because it's kind of just a pattern for this week. So far so this was from last week, but this is kind of a continuation of a pattern in the mining space. So this mining company looking for alternatives to revenue to fund their operations, right? That's kind of the big takeaway here. And then also on Friday, Bitcoin miner Cypher looks to sell up to $250 million in stock. So these mining companies are having to look to alternatives to fund their operations, alternatives to mining and getting Bitcoin, and then using that Bitcoin to fund their operations. So, not great, but it is showing that they are being creative. Whereas we also last week had a Bitcoin miner have to file for bankruptcy. So this is an alternative to that. This is quite a few steps away from the road of having to go bankrupt, but it's not a great sign that you're having to sell part of your company. That's never. It can be great, but in this case, it's probably not great. And the reason is because these miners are having trouble breaking even right now. They're mining Bitcoin is not as profitable as it was. So, they're having to turn to alternatives. Well, some good news, though, on the front of Tether has launched on Polkadot. So with the addition of Polkadot, USDT is now available on more than 10 blockchain networks, including Kusama, Ethereum, Solana, Algorand, Tron, Omni, and Near. And despite being the stablecoin market leader in terms of usability and market cap, USDT's share has been shrinking recently, which some believe is a positive sign for the crypto industry. But the big takeaway here is that Tether has launched on Polkadot, yet another expansion for USDT, and a good look for Polkadot, the interoperability chain, getting a little bit of love there from Tether. And we will round out the market pulse today with this interesting headline: Atom 2.0 white paper to be revealed during the Cosmoverse token, up 25% in September. So September was pretty volatile for a lot of cryptos, but all along, Atom was chugging along and earned up to 25% of the market's funds, right? That's actually a terrible way of phrasing that. That's definitely unrepresentative. But the price per token went up 25%. So that's really the takeaway there. But yeah, so this is going to be an anticipated white paper. Definitely be keeping an eye out for that. And one of the I want to issue a disclaimer on this. One of the reasons why I think Atom has been doing really well is because they have the highest staking reward on Binance US, at least. I don't know about Binance, but on Binance US, it's like 13 point something percent. And that's higher than Near, and it's much higher than Ethereum, and it's higher than Cardano. It's the highest one you can get, to my knowledge, if I'm missing something potentially, but it's the highest one. So that could potentially explain why Atom has outperformed many other alts, including Ethereum, and has also outperformed Bitcoin in the month of September. So that's going to round out our market pulse. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm T Shroom, and I am just really honored that you would watch the market pulse. So tune in again tomorrow around the same time, and we'll chat it up again.
Yeah, great stuff there, T-Shroom. It wasn't as interesting as a news day as it has been in the past. And, the fact that we have not heard back from Kelly at this point, I think that we're going to be riding out the rest of the show.
Yeah,
no
Kelly.
I'm hoping he's getting some rest. I'm really hoping that the reason he's not with us this morning is he missed his alarm clock after a very hectic weekend, and he is getting some much-needed sleep. Just so you guys know, on the Kelly front, before we start to continue to transition, I saw a lot. There's so many things that go on social media. A couple years ago, I wasn't on the social media side. I wasn't on the influencer side, and it was just funny to watch these people that get thousands of views every single day, and people would try to speculate about their life, and all these outlandish accusations come, and you're sitting there wondering, like, oh, is that true? Now that I'm on that side, the things that have been said are hilarious. Just in case anyone was wondering, we love Kelly Kellum. Kelly will always be family here at Coffee and Crypto. If anyone thought there was some sort of divide, there was some sort of disagreement, no. Kelly was a contractor that worked for us for a very long time. And just because of the bear market, we had to put a pause on creating more content on Club DeFi. That was his job. And he actually came to us. He came and out of a lot of respect to say, hey, man, would you guys be okay if I tried to find work for other cryptocurrency, channels? And we said, absolutely. We love you. We want to see you do well. And then a couple weeks later, Ben called me personally. So Ben gave me a call and said, hey, man, I want to do this as respectfully as possible. Kelly reached out to me. I would really love to hire him, but I want to make sure that this is all above board. We're not doing anything crazy here. And so they have our complete blessing. We love Kelly. I love what he's doing over there for the Hit Network. So anyone who thought that there was drama or animosity, we're going to squish that right now. We love Kelly Kellum.
Drama's for TLC. If you want drama, go to TLC, watch 90 Day Fiancé or Married at First Sight. Don't come to our channel.
We're also not big enough or crazy enough to purposely create drama for the sake of attention, if anyone thought that's what was happening either. I'm not that smart, I don't think. What we're going to do is we're going to be transitioning, though, into our discussion topic. Normally, we have a guest here, but that is okay. Guess what? I'm going to get to look over a lot of charts, and it is going to be fun. It's kind of crazy how on a day where there's not a lot of news, there's a lot of interesting things happening on the charts. So stick with us as we're about to go there. But before we do that, we always take a little break between our market polls, between our discussion, and we entertain the infamous question of the day. T-Shroom, what is that one today?
I'm going to tell you what the question of the day is. May do not go to my screen for this, please. If you could please just manage not to do that. The question of the day is: would you rather work for Michael Scott or Ron Swanson? And I'm going to ask the question again, and you can feel free to leave in chat what your answer to this would be. Would you rather work for Michael Scott or Ron Swanson? And Tim, I'm going to throw it to you first to see what your answer would be.
This is very hard because my heart really wants to say Michael Scott, but one of our coworkers this morning made a very good observation that as fun as Michael Scott is, in all reality, that'd probably be a really awkward working environment. Very awkward guy.
Who's the coworker?
Anthony.
Oh, you guys said it.
Yeah, in our chat, because we always ask these questions to our whole team first. So I love Michael Scott, but here's the deal. Especially if we're working for a government organization, Ron Swanson wouldn't want us to do anything. Second of all, I feel like Ron Swanson is the type of boss that if you don't do something right, he doesn't fire you, he just does it for you. I think that would be really, it wouldn't challenge me. So that's the other thing. It wouldn't challenge me to work for Ron Swanson. So I'm going to go, after that whole shabacle, I'm going to go with my original heartstring. I'm going to work for Michael Scott. I'll deal with the awkward work environment and have a blast. What about you, Smay?
Well, considering the fact that working for you, Tim, is like working for both of them combined into one person.
Wow.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment.
I'm gonna say though.
Wait, hold on. Pause. What similarities do I have with Ron Swanson other than a? Well, he doesn't have a beard. He has a mustache.
No, dude.
So I don't even have the facial hair.
Some of the things you say very confidently are something that I guarantee Ron Swanson would say.
Like what?
Like I don't know, like the benefits of like certain types of meats and stuff like that.
Like the libertarian aspects of it?
No, it's like that and like some of your health things that you talk about. Like it seems like something that like Ron Swanson
like the
would.
meat?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a bunch of
that's
meat?
what I'm saying. Like you'd be like, oh yeah, meat carnivore diets are actually strictly much better for you. Like stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. For anyone asking in chat real quick, Michael Scott is the guy from The Office. Steve Carell's character in The Office that it brings chaos to every single day of The Office. And Ron Swanson is in Parks and Rec. He is the guy that's anti-government, working for the government, and his description is, I'm going to defeat the beast, the belly. What do you say? He's, I'm in the belly of the beast. I'm going to defeat it from the inside. So yeah.
But what I'm saying, Tim, you have the best qualities of both.
I receive that, and I take that as a compliment.
It was a compliment.
So who you gonna work for?
So I'm gonna work for Ron Swanson though, because I much prefer that side of you, Tim, than I do the Michael Scott side. I feel like getting left alone, I'd get a lot done. So
hey, come on. How about you, T-Shirt? Wrap it up, and we'll move on.
I would want to work for Ron Swanson because I kind of share in a lot of his views.
I was saying, of the people in our office who might be similar to Ron Swanson, I feel like T-Shroom is the Ron Swanson in our office.
Poured bacon.
I didn't say you are Ron Swanson. I said you're a mixture of Michael Scott, which is definitely a change from just raw Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Well, let us know in chat who you would prefer to work for. If you don't know who either of those people are, that's okay. Tell us who in reality. Tell us another character you'd like to work for. A fictitious character from a comedy show is my stipulation on that. We're about to jump in and do some technical analysis here, but today our technical analysis is brought to you guys by BitGet. If you are looking for an exchange to trade on, BitGet is one of the fastest rising platforms out there with ridiculously low fees. I was looking at this the other day. I'm going to start trading on BitGet because it's literally 0.02% of what you're trading. That's the fees. That is ridiculous. In case like maybe someone trades on Coinbase Pro, it's 0.2 on Coinbase Pro. Sometimes even upper, closer to 0.26 or something like that on Coinbase. So we're talking about a big difference in price. It's a very cheap way. And if you're concerned about security, because that's another major concern everyone should have when it comes to exchanges, BitGet is one of the most secure out there. We have never had a hack to this date. So if you're looking for a safe place to be trading crypto, BitGet might just be the one for you. Make sure to check it out with our link down below. With that said,
well, 1 second actually.
Oh, we can't transition now.
Another one. Who is the proud winner of the HODL Trophy this week? No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about our fans. Let's shout them out real quick.
I think you know who they are. I have them written down here somewhere, but I cannot remember where.
Well,
what was their name?
It was one of those moments where I was asking you because I forgot.
No.
I was gonna
we
see
did
if
it
you
again.
remember. Isn't it just like it's like regular?
Oh yeah, it's Austin.
Regular
and now
Austin.
in chat he's normal. I think he
Austin.
changed his name to the normal Austin or something.
Normal Austin. Good, perfect.
You did. I if you go to my screen, I actually have the the tweet pulled up, or not the tweet, the chat.
He definitely
in YouTube.
he messaged
The normal Austin.
he messaged us on Friday in chat, and he's changed his name to the normal Austin.
All right, you go back to full.
I don't think he's in chat right now because I'm scrolling. I'm not seeing his name at all.
Well, Tim, I just wanted to give him a shout out.
There we
So
go,
the
the
normal
normal
Austin. The normal Austin. Shout out to the normal Austin. We love you.
yes, we love him very much. Let's jump in and let's go look at some charts. Don't go to my screen just yet because I was looking at Adam. I want to start out here on the Dixie, actually. I'm going to go down to the daily chart. You can go to my screen now, Smay.
Okay.
So, you know what's kind of funny is I think we actually have a little further to go up, but we are sitting, or we actually got this morning to the levels we had talked about before. So, first of all, way back here, let's see, actually back in August, I was talking about $113 on Dixie, and I was talking about us getting back up to these levels somewhere in here. Well, we kind of hesitated, took some time, and I told you guys that the longer we stay away from this red line, the higher the Dixie's going to get. Sure enough, right now we're sitting at that 113, but we had a wick actually earlier today that got up above 114, and here's the bad news, the kicker for you guys. That's not even hitting that red line yet. I do believe we're going to hit that. There's a chance we even go through it with the momentum, but I'm going to continue to watch that red line for resistance, and I'm hoping that what we end up doing is actually coming and touching it and then having a little bit of a relief rally, and that would make a lot of sense when you're looking at other charts. But before I get into some altcoin stuff, again, keep your eyes on the Dixie. Let's look at a couple of the bonds and yields charts as well. So again, here's the 5-year the 5-year yields. Oh, I'm still on my drawing marker. Let me get rid of that, guys. I apologize. It is sitting up very high, over 40. We got, let's look at a couple other 10-year. We're sitting up here, 3.786 on the 10-year Treasury note yield. Let's see what else we have going. The bond yield, the 30-year bond yield is sitting up 363. I'm going to go ahead and spoil this for you guys. We're climbing on all of these charts. All the bonds, all the yields, we are climbing, and the Dixie is climbing as well. And if you guys want to go back and watch, we were talking about this with Caleb Franzen last Wednesday. A lot of times what you're looking at, the Dixie can float and go up for a couple different reasons. It's the yields and the bonds that you're watching for smart money. Smart money right now is pumping in those yields, which means that's less money to go into equities, or vice versa. It could be money coming out of equities to go into the bonds and yields. So that is not speaking very well at the moment. However, what is very curious, if I were to go down, let's go to the 4-hour chart here on our Dixie, we are heading down in that same timeline. Bitcoin is heading back up. And when I talked about this morning, that little description, that title we have for the video, a breakout is incoming, and I believe today we're going to see something major happen. We are sitting in a symmetrical triangle pattern ever since back here on September 17th. So you guys are seeing the angle I have for you guys. We currently, in the 4-hourly candle we're in right now, are breaking out of it. Now, I want to see us close. We got to wait here until noon at this point to confirm and close above, because we have not closed above this descending level of resistance. But if we are able to break it, this could be a catalyst to send us back to the upside. And I'll explain why. I'm not saying that pain is over, and I'm not saying that that Bitcoin cannot set new lows. What I'm saying is that unlike other charts, unlike the stock market, if you were to look at the S&P 500, if you look at NASDAQ, Bitcoin continues to have this sideways bottom that it's finding support for these levels. Again, if I went back to the Dixie and went back to any of those yields, we're hitting highs and we're hitting these peaks. What happened with peaks? What happened with these guys? They have to cool off. It would not surprise me actually at all to watch as the Dixie needs to cool off for a little bit. This gives some steam to the crypto market, namely Bitcoin, and it gets actually at least back up to this level of resistance. If not, we get to make a decision to break through. So do we come back down and break through down low? Do we come back through and we actually end up breaking down lower? Here is going to be the question. But right now, I do believe that we're going to be watching over the next couple of days Bitcoin start climbing back towards $21,000 as it heads for this red line, and then it will be facing a decision point. Let's pull up a couple other things that you should be mindful of. Let's look at our fixed volume range profile. Let's start in just this quarter. We're coming to the end of the quarter, so I'm going to start with July 1st. We're sitting right below the key line. The key level, the most volume has been traded around 19,859. In case you guys are wondering about fixed range volume profiles, price likes to get back to that when you've found support, or if you're going above it and you hit your head on resistance, we like to head back down to this level. So the first thing I'm watching for is, can we reclaim 19,800 and can we potentially conquer it and start heading back up? Let's go to 2 quarters of price action here on Bitcoin to see what that level is going to give us. I believe it's pretty similar, but going back to April 1st, let's look at this level as well. We're going to see almost the exact same level, and if we can break through it, the level we're kind of looking for matching up is that 21,200. That's going to correspond pretty closely with maybe a wick breaking above that level of resistance here. That's potentially what I'm looking for right now. I actually think with all the negative sentiment in the market right now, with the fact that Bitcoin once again is finding itself at a flat level of support that we've been in ever since the bottom here back in June, I think there's actually more of a case for a bullish breakout over the next couple of days than there is a bearish one, and this goes along with what we've been talking about ever since the Fed announcement. The one thing we could be sure about from the Fed is that volatility will ensue. Well, we've been moving bearish ever since the Fed. We have been moving down. It's time for a little bit of a relief rally, and it would make sense, even if we're going to continue with the narrative, even if we end up breaking down to the downside and break and set new all-time lows, it would make a lot of sense to go back one more time, set another level of resistance before keeling over and falling down below. Make sure that you guys keep your eyes on the Bitcoin chart. Before I move on to other coins, T-Shroom, do you have any thoughts about where Bitcoin is sitting at the moment? Any thoughts you're seeing on the charts with equities markets, maybe oil? What do you think?
Well, I've got a lot of thoughts if you're going to open that question up that broad.
Yeah, it's pretty
but
broad.
I have a quick graphic for folks to take a look at, because not everybody's educated on the bond market, and I'm definitely myself kind of learning about it this year quite a bit more, as we're all being forced to. But let's say you've never heard of bonds and yields. Of course, you've heard of bonds, the word, but what is really a bond, and what is a yield? And how do they react to interest rates? Well, Smay, if you'll go to my screen really quick, I've got a Fidelity.com explainer on bond prices, rates, and yields. So before we get into, Tim already kind of tipped off, like kind of talking about the bond prices and the yield rates. Let's talk about what they really are. So as you see on this diagram, as interest rates go up, bond prices go down, and as interest rates go down, bond prices go up. And this isn't a one-for-one thing. It's not. It doesn't have to happen. This is how the market reacts. So the market prices these things in. And by the market, I mean giant institutional banks, all the way down to your uncle and grandpa buying and trading, within their own 401ks, right? Okay, so how does that affect yields? So as the bond prices go up, yields come down, and as prices go down, yields go up. So it's inversely proportional here, prices and yields of bonds. And so what you can conclude is, as interest rates go up, which is the environment that we're in, prices come down, and what happens? Yields go up. So this is just I'm not saying anything about our current market here right now. All I'm doing is just giving you a little bit of education, a little cursory knowledge, so that you can understand a little bit more of what we're talking about here. Because the bond market is weird. It's not exactly it's a different kind of tokenomic, you could say, than just buying a stock and holding it and it going up or down, or the dividends that a stock might yield, or buying a crypto and seeing it go up or down, or staking a crypto. So all of these things are slightly different, and I just wanted to kind of highlight how bonds work. So that's my input. But in terms of where the Bitcoin price is here, it was coiled up like this is just the T-Shroom take from the surface. First of all, we've had this big bearish bias right now on just like the multi-month, right? Or just in September, but also going back further, right? So multi-month as well. But right now we've kind of coiled up like a snake. And for what reason, you might say? Because the Fed has already issued its clarity. Why haven't we moved strongly in one direction? Well, that's kind of the question. Post the Fed, post the Fed decision, post the merge, and post the Vasil hard fork, Bitcoin is still kind of undecided on which direction it's going, and Ethereum is kind of in that same situation. So you could kind of make the argument that the market is still kind of undetermined of which direction it wants to go in right now. And we're seeing, right now on the hourly charts, you can see that Ethereum is kind of ticking up, and the same thing is happening to Bitcoin here. It's kind of ticking up, testing, setting up to test the higher range of kind of what it's been ranging in, the higher parts of what it's been ranging in here. But we don't know if it's going to break out of that. I certainly don't. Tim has explained that and will explain more about why he thinks it's going to go up. And I've definitely been reading some pretty compelling arguments of why Bitcoin could break to the upside of this resistance. But it's anybody's call. It's really kind of trading now on all of this data. The market is kind of digesting everything that it's just gone through with the rates being raised and with the forward forecasting into 2024 of what that terminal rate is going to be. It's going to be higher than what was initially predicted. And so, the market is just trying to digest all that and try to figure out, okay, what direction do we go in? Right now, it can't make up its mind, so it's moving sideways. And that may seem infinitely obvious, but that's the T-Shroom take for right now.
Yeah, before we move away from Bitcoin, that was great stuff there, T-Shroom. The last thing I wanted to look at, there's a couple bearish things and a couple bullish things here to look at. The first one, and it was my mistake. I don't know why I didn't talk about this sooner. I saw this over the weekend. I saw someone comment on it, and I was like, wow, that is a great call. I think it was someone in our Club DeFi actual Discord. So shout out to Club DeFi. If you guys are looking at this right now, Bitcoin just finished playing out a inverse cup and handle formation. What does that mean? Well, we normally talk about these things when they're normal cup and handles, which are usually bullish, but this is an inverse one. One that I'm going to be honest with you guys, you do not see inverse cup and handles very frequently. So the fact that this exists is actually pretty cool. What is this going to mean for the price action though? I'm going to show you. There's going to be two things I'm looking at here that are going to show us bearish. What you do when you're looking at cup and handles, and I've learned, and there's some dissent about this. There are certain analysts that use the entire length of the cup, but after reviewing and talking with a lot of technical analysts and researching some of the smartest ones throughout history, the more traditional way you actually go about it is you go the length of the handle from the breakout point. You bring that down, and this will give us a price prediction. If we see this level play out, 15,420 is its prediction. And so I'm not saying we have to do that, but this is kind of funny because now when I go and look at, again, one of our other favorite tools you guys know we love to use, Lux Algo. Lux Algo is actually calling for just about the exact same price on the daily chart. Right now we have a strong sell signal, and I think we still have red candles. We have a red trend catcher. Just so you guys know, Lux Algo historically, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. Historically, when you see three confirmations, the signal, the candles, and the color of the trend catcher, those things tend to play out. It might need to take some time, though, because when you move down to the 4-hourly chart, you're actually going to see Lux Algo calling for a brief rally up to where? Oh, no, it's just what we were talking about. Potentially upwards of 20,300 all the way up to 21,400, which means you're probably looking in the middle zone. What is that? Around 20,800. If we take our time, this will move us all the way over to this descending level of resistance. So moving out to the daily chart on the Lux Algo, I do think that there is a good chance. I would not be against at this point setting up a trade opportunity, a short opportunity with taking profit levels around 15,600. Why is this? Let's do one more confirmation of why those levels are actually significant. There's a video coming out this week. I'm not exactly sure when Zach's going to get back to me. He's got a couple different videos he's editing, but for all of our members, our Club DeFi members and our YouTube members, I actually made a video talking about how to set yourself up for worst case scenario in this space. So if I were to go back all the way to the bottom of the previous bear market and extrapolate to right now, you're going to see levels of importance here on Bitcoin, and one of them that is very important is sitting right there at 15,463. If you're wondering why, there's a lot of these little peaks. Pay attention if we head down, pay attention to every single one of these peaks. That will be levels for strong support that if the bears can mount up strength, we can break below, but if they cannot, those are levels to watch. 15,400 is one of the key levels that I've been looking at, and what we just got, moving back to the daily chart, is three different signals now saying it. Not only do we see that on the volume profile being a significant level of support, we have our inverse cup and handle. We also have Lux Algo calling for that low. But don't be surprised to see a little bit of a fake out first and us actually head back up. This is another thing I talked about last week. Those of you who watched will remember I talked about how we were a little far away from the trend catcher. I did not like it historically. You don't stay that far below the trend catcher and not make its way back up to it. That would make a lot more sense to have a brief little rally back up, test that support level, test that resistance level, test that trend catcher, and then come down and play these out. I am still holding out hope. There's still reason to believe that potentially this is the bottom, but I am continuing to prepare myself for worst case scenario no matter what, and I believe that every single one of you guys should as well. So make sure you have a plan either direction. Is the bottom in or is the bottom not in? Either way, you should have a plan. Let's go look at a couple other coins that we have going on here. I'm going to take off Luxago for just, well, let's see what Luxago is saying on these ones. On the daily chart, we actually don't even have as much of a bearish action. Luxago technically has hit take profit on Ethereum's daily chart on its sell order with the strong signal, the red candles, the red trend catcher. It could absolutely go lower, and that's something that I am keeping my eyes on. Those of you guys know, the level that's significant right now is we came back down and retested former resistance and turned it into support. But if Ethereum bulls cannot rally something soon, which potentially it can, when we're looking at Bitcoin, when we're looking at Dixie, we're looking at the potential that we could have some turnover here very soon. If they cannot mount that rally, I do expect us to fall back into this zone, this range we were trading in between June and July. Let's pull up our fixed range volume profile, take a look at that. Let's go all the way back to April 1st. Right there. And let's take a look at what we've done over the last 2 quarters. Technically, I did March 31st, but it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Key volume at this point is well above us, sitting at 1,578. We're hovering right down now, and we're sitting right below this key point right here, around 1,350. If we can recapture that, then we have an easy road all the way up to 1,400 again, then starts the climb back up towards 1,500. But again, if we cannot, we might find support here at 1,221, or we could just begin to range again. I'm holding out long term. I still believe the fundamentals on Ethereum are going to be strong, but when I'm doing my analysis, I know I said before, I almost made it seem like we're going to see a rally here within the next couple of weeks. Sometimes these halving events can take multiple months before you see the bullish nature come back in. If you guys are wondering what I am talking about, I messed this one up. I have to go back and find this chart. Let me take just a second, guys. BLX, which shows us the entire history of Bitcoin. Let me scroll out to my weekly chart. I went ahead and put green lines at all of the levels where we've actually already had the halvings happen. So scrolling back, we had a halving right here back in September of 2012. Of course, right there, July of 16. But I'm going to look at this one right here. Let's look at May of 2020. All right. After the halving event, of course, if you guys are just looking at the screen the way I'm looking at, this started off explosive rallies, but it actually took a long time before we saw a lot of progress there. 77 days, actually, before we saw any type of real momentum. We actually traded sideways and a little to the downside after that breakout. Same thing happens if you go over to this one right here. 112 days back in 2016, we moved downwards, actually. We were at bearish action for 112 days before we started off a nice bullish run. What is my point here, Tim? Why are we talking about Bitcoin's halvings? Well, going back to Ethereum, we just had an extreme halving on Ethereum. We just had a triple halving, which I do believe is going to lower that supply and allow the price of Ethereum to skyrocket before maybe other cryptos are ready. Like, I think Ethereum might be one of the first coins to get back and hit new all-time highs when we're talking about larger cap altcoins. The problem is it might not happen just overnight. We might have to wait until, I think at this point, we're looking earliest of December for real bullish action from a historical standpoint taking hold. It could happen a little bit sooner, absolutely, but there's no guarantee in that. So right now, looking at a shorter time frame, unlike Bitcoin, it has not been able to break through its little symmetrical triangle for me, but it is making up. Oh, it's working on it. We're briefly breaking through. Just because we have a wick above is not anything necessarily to confirm just yet, but keep your eyes on that one. Just like Bitcoin, I showed you guys that we're above the symmetrical triangle pattern on Bitcoin. Keep your eyes on Ethereum. Today could be a good day for a breakout. And let's just look at a couple levels. If we do break through and we have some bullish momentum, let me look at just this quarter and see some levels that if you are in a Ethereum trade, you might want to consider taking some profit on. I got to scroll back a little farther here. Actually, got to scroll back a lot farther because July is way back here. July 1st. Come on now. Where are you? Boom. Levels you're going to look at on Ethereum. More than likely, we could get as high. This is going to be a little bit of a problem right here. Well, first of all, right there, 1341, but I think we can get the bullish momentum to break through. We're kind of looking around the 1426 mark. If we can keep breaking through, watch out for 1482, and then we're heading up towards 15. But I think that might be a lot to ask over the next day, but maybe over the next week, Ethereum, along with Bitcoin, can make its way back up there while we see the Dixie start to fall. Let's look at Cardano. Here's another project that is sitting in a similar spot to Bitcoin. Not as much of a symmetrical triangle pattern as much as we have a falling wedge. Let me go ahead and draw that for you guys. What we have here, we have, did not grab my tool correctly. There we go. We have a descending level of resistance right here with one little breakout, but we also have a descending level. It's not going to be as much as that's a wedge. So this is a bullish thing for Cardano. Could Cardano potentially be breaking out here soon with Bitcoin having a breakout, potentially Ethereum having a breakout? Could we see Cardano rally up and at least retest its level of resistance somewhere in the region of 50 cents? Let's look at our fixed range volume profile and Lux Algo, see what they're saying about it. Let me start with just this quarter, going back to the beginning of July. That's good enough. Let's see what we have here. Sitting right below the levels, it's going to give us a problem as we head back up towards that resistance level around 45 cents. But if we can break through and make any momentum, we could see ourselves rally all the way up towards that 49 cents, 50 cents, which would make a lot of sense with a descending level of resistance thing right there. Of course, Cardano is sitting in the middle. What is this? This is day 3 or 4. So Thursday started 1, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is day 4 and some change of their 5-day upgrade that has started with the Vasil hard fork. So potentially, could we see that be a coincidental timing with Cardano, that it actually gets through its 5-day process of uploading, and then we see a rally in the entire crypto space? Some people, when you look at news stories like this and you're looking at charts, sometimes you got to wonder, like, what's the coincidence of that the chart is showing a breakout opportunity right in line with a sentimental opportunity for success. Let me get rid of the fixed range volume profile because that's muddying up this chart. Did not grab hold of it. What do you think about that, T-shirt? Before I move on to Luxago, what do you think about the fact that sometimes the charts will show bullish or bearish breakouts right in line with we know bullish or bearish sentiment is coming out?
I mean, the general wisdom is that price precedes events. Is like the price will price in. You may have heard that phrase. Will price in events to come, and so. I think it's pretty rare, honestly, that there is an event that happens that makes the price go up or down after that. Obviously, when the Fed drops its rates, even in that moment, the prices moved up and down. But usually it takes about a day or 2 or 3 for the market to really establish a direction it's going to move as a result of that decision. So I think for this Cardano story, I think, one, it's overshadowed big time by the Fed, and its kind of effect on markets. But 2, I think it's difficult for people to understand exactly what's going on at the lower down into the technology of Cardano, and so it's difficult to really understand which price, which direction it's going to go from there. So. A lot of people didn't even know that there was going to be a 5-day lapse between, this technology, fulfilling what it needs to fulfill and then going live. So, it's just tough for the market to digest these technological advancements. And that has been kind of an ongoing theme in Cardano, or in crypto, trading. It's just like, the traders try to understand the devs, and the devs try to understand the traders, and the traders want price to move when an event happens, but they also understand that the price can get baked in before that event happens in anticipation for the direction it's going to move. People want to be able to buy it low so they can sell it high, or vice versa. Whereas the devs, they want the traders to just to not be so volatile, to not FUD out or FOMO in to events. They want it to just be everybody DCAing in lockstep so that everything can be predictable. And they also want the traders to just understand the dev's language, and whether it be Haskell or whether it be another computer programming language. So it's really tough for the market to look at something like the Cardano Vasil hard fork and to be able to say whether or not it's going to go up or down. Because of what I stated before, with the Fed's economic forces overshadowing anything that could happen with Cardano's price. But then also it's very murky. It's very muddy and kind of cloudy for traders, at least, and even some institutional investors who don't have proper research to look at something like Cardano and be able to predict what's going to happen, or to be able to honestly and fairly value it at current prices, and be able to understand what it really means and what it's going to mean in the future. But I personally believe that the market will understand Cardano's value, and that's going to come when they first get their first really big deals, like how Disney partnered with Ethereum via Polygon recently. and how the same thing has happened with Ford. And yes, these are NFT projects that they're entering into. It's not like Ford is going to be running their self-driving servers on Ethereum or something like that, right? It's just that they're launching an NFT project. So, but the whole thing is that there's brand association there, and whenever you're associating your brand and able to do that with a company like Ford that's been around for a very, very long time in this country, that's a very good thing, and that can get translated into bullish price movement. So I think when that happens with Cardano, when they can land, like a TD Bank, or they can land like a Burj Khalifa CNFT project, right? Something like that, where it's just this really big, undeniably significant event, that's when Cardano could start to see sparks. Why? It shouldn't be like that, right? Charles Hoskinson would be the first one to say it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be all this glitz and glamour that makes the price go up or down. It should be actual on the ground new value, like adding a DEX or adding smart contracts or something like that, the addition of new technology. But unfortunately, the market is just, it's still not mature enough. And don't get me wrong, it's still not mature enough to understand what that technology really means. And so big deals with existing corporations tends to outperform and be a lot louder in the marketplace. But don't get me wrong, there are plenty of traders who are educated. A lot of you who are listening to the sound of my voice right now are pretty educated in terms of crypto and technology. And here on the team, we're getting more and more educated every single day in understanding these technologies. We're not devs, we're traders, right? So, but I don't want to undermine you if you're out there, and you've put in the work to understand the dev and you're also a trader. I know a lot of people like that. So I didn't want to mischaracterize traders there with my analysis. But overall, Cardano's got to have something that penetrates through into the news world, into the media world, that is undeniable. And the Vasil hard fork, unfortunately, it's just not undeniably bullish. Folks don't look at that and see something. Obviously it is a big trophy for Cardano to have been able to make something like this happen and get the consensus to make it happen. But ultimately, it's just not that. It's not glitzy and glamorous enough. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't like that. And that opinion would be something that resonates with the dev side. So,
and I think another thing is the unfortunate timing of the Vasil hard fork. And Charles just doesn't care. He's been on record saying he doesn't care. This is a big upgrade that we will look back on and say this was big for Cardano's ability to operate. But it's happening at the worst time. First of all, it's happening in September. Septembers are ridiculously bearish. It's happening right as there's a lot of fear being pumped in the space about the future look of the economy, not just the U.S. economy, but the global economy. And Charles, in his opinion, price just doesn't matter whatsoever. So you got to understand that from that standpoint, Charles doesn't care. A lot of the developers on Cardano do not care. A lot of the people who are utilizing Cardano do not care about price. It's the traders that care. And we're, as T-Shroom said, we're traders. So that's what we're talking about. We actually, just so you guys know, the Cardano team, they like us. They actually saw us at the they talked to us at what conference was that? Out in Austin. What was that? It's Consensus. And they're like, we like you guys, but why do you guys just always talk about price? Why do you? And we're like, well, because we're a price analysis channel. But so they don't always love everything we do, but that's not going to stop us from doing it. You can go back to my screen here. I'm going to finish showing out Cardano's chart, and then I'm going to look at a couple other coins. I'd love for the audience to tell me some other ones they'd love to see. Maybe not today.
Can I get a super quick note on that? It's not like this is a new phenomenon, guys. In the stock market world, in the equities world, CEOs have to do phone calls with their shareholders. They have to do these phone calls every quarter, or they have to do it periodically. And every single time they're like, oh, we're building a new smartphone, or we're investing in this new product, in this new technology. And there's always been this frustration of CEOs, which kind of can be equated to developers. That's essentially what they are. And to the price of the stock of that corporation. There's always a tension. It's like, is this new technology priced in? Is it gonna be right for the market? Is it a technology that's being built but nobody's gonna buy it? And the market, that price gets disputed up and down and up and down. And that argument takes place every single time. And sometimes the CEOs lose track and they can't control the narrative anymore. And then you get a General Electric that just tanks because the CEO just cannot steer the market anymore. And sometimes it's the truth that comes out, but sometimes it's a lie and a deception. So, some could make the argument that Tesla has fallen victim to deception to the upside, becoming inflated. I personally don't have a horse in that game, but that's just an example I'm using. Tim, go ahead with the Cardano TA.
Well, and I was going to respond to one person real quick. They said, oh, so if he cares, they're talking about Charles, so if he cares, the price will go up. Oh, okay. The reason why it does matter is because other altcoins, they absolutely care about the price. So they will pay media. They will pay. I mean, we've been approached by many coins asking us to take them on as sponsors, and we've said, no, we're not going to do that. That happens to a lot of different YouTubers out there. That happens to articles out there. They'll take these sponsorships because these CEOs or these developers, they care so much about the price because they want attention. Yeah. They will go on these rampages to get some hype train going. What's the difference? Charles Hoskinson does not do that. So the fact that Charles Hoskinson doesn't care about price and the price of the pump, it is correlated because he is not working anywhere near, like he is working on having a good product. He's not worried about the price action at this point because he understands what those on this channel understand is that price is downstream of fundamentals. Teacher, you got one more thing?
Yeah, well, if you look at what AVEX is being accused of, I don't know that that's been proven yet, but they've got some pretty and I'll use the word damning evidence of that video evidence of their one of their lawyers who did get a very generous stake at the beginning of that project of AVAX. That lawyer was allegedly going around and just filing class action lawsuits against other blockchain projects and just completely, doing it that way, trying to control the price that way, caring so much about price so that lawyer had a direct one-to-one incentive for every class action that he filed on one of AVAX's competitors, it would receive a higher price. He would receive a higher price, and therefore his net worth would go up. It's very corrupt if that allegation turns out to be true. It looks to me like if I was the judge, it looks to me with the limited evidence that I've seen that it is true. So you'd have to assume that there's projects out there that are doing nefarious things to try and increase the price. And again, crypto is in the Wild West phase. So this is to be expected. The Kwons of the world are to be expected this early on into something that is a new gold rush. This is a digital gold rush right now we're in. So you got to tread carefully and you got to understand the world that you're in. But when you look at like a Cardano type project, you get all the right vibes, right? You see exactly what Charles is saying on Twitter. You're able to get some semblance of understanding of the code through articles that are interpreting it for you, and you look at the price and it just doesn't match up, which ding 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 to an investor, that means a great investment. So that's just the way that I'm thinking about it and contrasting that against AVAX.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That took a little longer than I thought, but that's fine. We're going to go jump back on here real quickly. The technical analysis on Cardano, the last thing I wanted to look at was, I told you guys we're in a falling wedge here on Cardano, which is bullish. Lux Algo still has this falling all the way down to 30 cents, though, with that take profit. And again, the take profits don't always go to that far. Lux Algo is usually really good about them, though. 4-hourly chart, unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum that had us actually bullish on the 4-hourly chart, it actually has us still going down a little bit farther, potentially coming back down to the level of support before heading back up. So I don't want people to always just say, like, oh, these guys are just shilling Cardano. Actually, at the moment, Cardano is one of the few coins, while I think there's a potential for a little rally, it's one of the few coins I'm looking at that the charts are actually showing some bearish action. Let's look at a couple other ones, though, really quickly before we move on to technical analysis and enter into some chat questions. XRP is doing almost exactly what I predicted last week. Last week I had this little thing drawn right here, and I was saying that XRP, after a nice rally coming all the way up to almost 56 cents with 55 cents, was going to come back down and get close at least and retesting this level of support around 45 cents. Sure enough, we got down to 46 today. Are we going to start a little relief rally? Do we have a little further to go down? Let's look at a couple of things on the XRP chart. But XRP is one of the big moving projects of the week. On the 4-hourly chart, we do not have bearish RSI divergence. So yes, we are correcting at the moment, but there was not necessarily from the RSI side a need for it just yet. Instead, actually, what you could be seeing happen is we will be setting up some bearish RSI divergence as our price climbs to this level. This is pretty common with charting, that the RSI will set a peak, it'll relax for a second, and then what we'll see happen is the RSI will not make it. I got my marker here. The RSI will not make it as high as the previous peak, but the price will outdo it, coming up maybe towards 59-60 cents, and then we'll have our bearish RSI divergence for XRP to potentially cool off. But right now, XRP is one of the hot moving coins out there. I'm going to go and leave that right there to continue to watch it. I saw someone ask really quickly. I'll look at Crow. Someone said that Crow. Oh no, Adam. Someone said Adam was. We we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
They said it's actually falling after it had its rally. That was one thing I was looking at on Atom when we were talking about it earlier. It has been on a nice little run here, but it is one of the coins that does have bearish RSI divergence. What I mean by that is we have our falling peaks here on the RSI right there on the daily chart. However, in the same timeline, our peaks with the daily close of the candles continue to climb. So continue to watch. Atom this morning or today is on its way back up. Let's look at the 4-hourly chart and see if it's showing anything on the 4-hourly chart. No, I mean, we could be seeing a nice little, rally back up to it, but keep your eyes out. We did have some bearish RSI divergence on Atom. Atom also had been in a very nice run. I know the article that T-Shroom read talked about how this month it had, I'll go out to the monthly chart, it actually had a 25% increase. Well, that's only if you're looking at the candle body close. In all reality, this month, which has been bearish for almost every other project, actually saw Atom rally by as high as 44%. So that's, it's been a very good month for Atom. However, you guys know everything that goes up must at some point come down. Let's look at maybe the 2-day and 3-day, because I know we saw the bearish RSI divergence on the 2-day. It's going to be there on the daily. It's there on the 2-daily as well. 3-daily, well, let's see what we have here. Looking at Luxago, let's see if it hit the take profit on any of these levels is another point. Yeah, we hit take profit on 3-daily. We hit take profit on 2-daily. Did we hit it on? Yeah, we did not quite hit it, but it also might have reset because we have been under a buy signal all the way since June. And what happens with Luxago is sometimes the take profit resets. And so you don't want to fall. Oh, I took it down. Let me pull it back up. This is for anyone who owns Luxago. If you don't own Luxago, we recommend it. There's a link in the description down below. But I'm going to show you guys something that I keep an eye out for. So right now, you guys see the take profit way up here. I guarantee you back when this buy signal happened and we had a green trend catcher and green candles, that didn't pop up that high. If we were to replay this back and go back, let's go back to back here. Let's see where our original take profit was. Yeah, original take profit was at $12.77. And then if I hit play on this, you're going to see it play out. And it gets to a point where it takes its profit and then it's going to reset it. Give me just a second. Oh, it's taking longer than I thought it was going to take. There's a go. Getting close. It's faking us out and giving us a lot of hardship. There we go. All right, hit our take profit, and then it resets it. I guarantee it's going to do it somewhere right in here. Boom. Yeah, so just the other day, we reset this new take profit level. I wouldn't be surprised if Atom doesn't end up hitting that take profit level. That's something that you were to go back on Bitcoin. I'm not going to do it because that took a little bit. But if you guys were to go back on Bitcoin, there's a couple times during this bear market that Bitcoin has not hit its take profit levels on Luxago. Of the 4 that I found, 3 of them were times where it originally hit its take profit, and then it just set a new one and didn't quite make it that far. So Luxago, a very, very reliable tool. Perfect? No, but there is nothing in this this world on technical analysis that is perfect. It's just another tool to add to your trading tool bag. That is all we're going to do on technical analysis today. I did see some requests for some other coins, so just so you guys know, we will try to work it into our schedule over the next couple of days to do some technical analysis on other coins as well. But let's jump into some super chats and normal chat that was engaging, and let's answer and engage with this fantastic community.
The fantastic as in financial. So shout out to that pun, Tim. It was very good.
Yeah, that's what I was going
Anyways, I'd like to read some super chats. First one from Thomas Samonich says, how long do you think all the nation's fiat have left before total collapse? Weeks, days, months, years.
You know, it's funny. I can't say. I was talking with someone this weekend who predicted that in the next couple of years, he's like, I don't know, one of those currencies from Europe is just going to take over. And it took everything within my being not to laugh. But
one of those currencies.
One of those currencies.
There's
in
a
Europe.
couple. I mean,
there is a
the
couple.
Swedish kroner.
But is there any currency that's doing well in Europe? Is my first thought. The answer is no.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on fiat, but I can tell you right now, yeah, Europe is not doing well. From a money standpoint. But re-ask the question one more time. That when I heard it, that it just reminded me of that conversation. Reread the question one more time.
I'd love to read the real question.
No.
We have from Thomas Samonich says, How long
I like it.
So are you gonna let me read the super chat or are you gonna keep talking?
Well, it took you a while just to read the name.
How long do you think all the nation's fiat have left before total collapse? Weeks, days, months, years?
I mean,
all
years.
The nations?
It's gonna be years, but
I mean, all the nations.
He said all the nations.
Yeah, he means all fiat. He's pretty much asking when do we get away from fiat currency. And here's a good clarifying question. when we start using CBDCs, does that count as going away from fiat currency? Because even though they'll have the same use case, of course, one of the purposes of them is to digitalize money. And with the digitalized money, there's going to be a little more. Like, does that count as a killing of fiat? In which case, maybe we could talk about a few years, meaning like maybe it doesn't downside of 5 to 10.
Doesn't count.
I don't know if you're ever going to see. I don't know if you're ever going to see all fiat currency, meaning money backed by the government, pretty much go away completely. But I do think you're going to see it be more restricted because of the use case of crypto, especially Bitcoin and the decentralized currency world. I think decentralized currency, whether it ever becomes whether it ever becomes world currency or not, it will make currencies play by rules they haven't had to play in for over 100 years.
It'll be an endangered species here in no time.
So that's a hard question to answer, but I did the best I could. What's the next one?
And I actually appreciate the effort that you put into that. So
Good.
And here we have from Sin City Crypto. You know, I like that Sin City Crypto.
I do,
team.
yeah. I need to connect with them. I was
cool
supposed to be on
guys.
their show here a couple weeks ago, but it didn't work out. So I need to.
Can I just
reconnect with them.
say they all have great smiles.
They do.
And they're very huggable. So I just want to shout out you, Sin City Crypto. You make that city. What's the opposite of sin? Happy
Virtue.
Virtue
Virtuous?
City Crypto.
Oh, that answer could have been very broad.
All right. Anyways, I'd like to read their super chat. Straight BTC chart alpha. Much love.
Sweet.
Good stuff. Anything else?
Well, considering the fact that was our last super chat,
That's good. I mean, I saw there was some negativity in chat today. I was doing TA the whole time, but when I was over there, and here's the thing, I'm gonna talk to all the haters out there right now.
Here we go.
I love you. Come on, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Real quick story time with Tim. I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for people. Like, I'm not saying that I'm encouraging people to come in chat and go to places and just be trolls and just try to hate on people. Here's what I will say, though. Part of my learning, part of how I got to be who I am, and it's funny because these haters are going to say, Tim, you still don't know anything. And that's fine. You can think that. Part of the reason why I've gotten as far as I've gotten is because of haters. Because they keep you in line. You know what I mean? They keep you from just saying whatever you want to say out there. And they make you think about, like, I know there's haters out there, so I got to make sure when I'm saying things, I'm thinking through what I want to say. And sometimes, I'll admit, sometimes I probably say things that I'm like, could I have that one back? I want to rethink that one. But I have no problem with haters because they keep us in line. Also, if you start getting rid of every single person, now, if you're disrespectful, let me pause for it. If you're disrespectful to people, if you're being nasty and crazy, then spoiler, we're going to get rid of you because we want to continue to build an uplifting, great, amazing community. However, I am never, ever, ever going to have a problem with critiquing comments in chat. I will never have a problem with somebody who says, I don't think this Tim guy knows what he's talking about. That is fine. You know what that does? I read those and I say, all right, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about when I say things. And if I don't know something, I'm going to go back and learn more about it. That is what every single one of us should be doing. We should constantly be looking to better ourselves. And the best way to do that is to stare in the face of our haters and say, watch me succeed despite your hateful comments.
That's right.
So
you got to drink the
I love
haterade.
you guys. I love you guys. You guys are welcome to stay. Just be respectful and don't attack people in chat. That's my only request.
You know what Smay has to say? If you want drama, you go to TLC because they have plenty of it. TMZ. We don't have drama here at this channel. We have valuable crypto insights and breaking down analysis.
Thank you, Smay. I love the passion there. You know what we have to do today? We didn't announce at the beginning, and that's my bad.
Oh my gosh,
I should have told people to be prepared for this. Today is Monday, and that means we are doing our HODL Trophy predictions. So shout out to the Normal Austin for being the reigning champion of our community.
Normal
Shout
Austin.
out to Smay, who is now sitting at 5 wins in our little competition. I'm at 7, you're at 5, T-Stream's at 3. We're about to do our HODL Trophy predictions, and Smay, because you are reigning champ, and you've won 2 in a row. Good for you, Smay.
I'm about to win 3. You're
You're about to win 3 in a row? I doubt it because you're going first.
I'm about to 3.
But I'm going to give you the first go at what you think Bitcoin will be sitting at on Friday at 11 o'clock.
Give us a really up-to-date, down to the fraction. What is Bitcoin at right now?
$19,062.
$19,062. Wow. Wow.
Talk about buying time.
Talk about time to look at a bearish chart. Am I right, guys? Because I'm feeling pretty bearish about this.
Okay.
Feeling pretty bearish about this. I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna say 18,500.
I love it. 18,500.
I'll make it quick for you. I'm going to say 2,500. Was I next?
2,500, like $2,500.
Nope. Was I next though?
You
are
definitely
20,000
said 2,500.
20,500. I did say 2,500. Yeah. 20. That's funny.
Whoa, that's mega bearish.
Yeah, no. 20,500.
I do not like that prediction you just made.
You said 20,500? I thought you said 25,000.
Yeah, and I misspoke.
Okay.
All right.
2,500.
I had to back clean up. I do not like that because you're going to make me sandwich myself.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm going to be right, so I'm going to be brave here, and I'm going to take the middle, and I'm going to go with 20,000. I wanted 20,000 in the first place, but I thought you were going to go lower for some reason. I thought you were bearish this week. The fact that you're bullish and the fact that you're going to sandwich me in here, but I'm going to stick with my gut.
Think about it.
And if we had all like drawn the answers beforehand, I would have said $20,000. So this is my raw, real prediction. I think that Bitcoin is going to start heading back up towards that resistance. It won't quite get there just yet. I'm predicting $20,000. I like my range because you said 18.5, Smay.
I said 18.5.
And you said 20,005. So pretty much I have about $1,000 of a range.
No, we're gonna test higher through this summer trend, this summer channel that we're in.
I think so.
And we're gonna test higher. It doesn't mean we go to like 50 again, 50,000, but there's just not any news. There's nothing coming up that could really rock, Bitcoin. When is our next inflation print? That would be a good thing to look up.
I mean, it's gonna be in October, obviously.
October.
Is it the second week of October? I don't know.
We'll have to look October 5th?
Is it?
No, I don't know.
What is that split? I know the split between me and I'm not good at quick math off the top of my head. What is the split between me and you, Smay?
Well, let me save you some time while you're thinking about that. I'll buy you some time.
Thank you.
Guys, I have this beautiful HODL trophy, and
Me too.
I would like to dedicate this HODL trophy win from last week, and the future win that I'm going to win. Guys, I just want to tell you something. I have something brewing, and something that actually Tim and T-Shroom don't know about. So I'm just going to tease it. I have something brewing, and it's not the video on next Saturday. I'll tell you that much. Smay has something brewing in the pot or the in the pot. When I say something's brewing, it's in the pot,
In the
right?
cauldron.
In the cauldron.
Yeah,
but that makes me sound like it's witchcraft. I'm not into that.
Why not?
I've got something brewing in the fridge because like cold brew, you know.
October 10th.
Okay, there we go.
October 13th.
I bought them time.
October 13th is the next inflation print for September, and we will see where that goes.
So we got some time.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking by this Friday,
Yeah.
it's going to be higher because I think it'll race higher up into that print, and then 5 days before it'll get all scared and come back down.
Let's get. What are you brewing?
I was gonna say, are you curious of what I'm brewing?
I'm extremely curious.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, that's good.
So
Is it Reels on Reels Reloaded?
Ooh,
What?
Sensitive topic.
What?
We're gonna talk about that after this.
That
stream.
was really freaking good guess.
We're gonna talk about that.
Holy
after the
crap! But no, that's not it.
Reels on Reels.
That-
Reloaded.
Reload.
stream. Yeah.
That was. I gotta be honest with you. That was like a really good guess, but that's not it.
But this time you have a 50 cal that you're using to fish and unlimited ammo.
So I'm sure you thought it was funnier before you said it, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Tim close it and move past that embarrassment.
So quick math. So reminder to everyone in chat: if you guys are commenting your numbers, I see a lot of predictions in chat, and I love them. I don't love them because they're low, but I love
everyone's
that you
Team
guys
Smeg.
want to participate. Those will not be entered to win. They have to be in the comment section down below the video after we have finished going live. Just, I want you guys to comment. So this week, I'm going to put a little more stipulation on here. You need to comment BTC prediction. So BTC prediction, because when we do it on Friday, I'm going to literally put that keyword in there, and then I'll take whatever the closest one is there. And I want you to put whose team you're on. Team Smay, Team T-Shroom, Team Tim. If you're wondering what your prediction is, anyone between 19,250 and 20,250 is Team Tim. If you're above 20,250, you are Team T-Shroom. If you are below 19,250, you are Team Smay. Comment down below as soon as we are done going live. Closing up the stream, there's a couple announcements I have for you guys other than our HODL Trophy prediction. First of all, Michael Van de Poppe. He will be joining us tomorrow, a fantastic technical analyst. I'm curious to see what he's seeing on the charts. I always love getting technical analysts on here and comparing what I'm seeing versus what they're seeing. So make sure you join us tomorrow. You might have read an article or two about him. He is a great, great guy. Also, I want to remind everybody, we have a prayer wall here at the office. I don't even know if we have an operating prayer wall, but we have a functioning prayer wall. And what I mean by that is we love you guys. We love our community. If there's any way we can encourage and love on you guys and be praying for anything going on in your life, we can't talk with every single one of you guys as much as we would love to. But if you guys email us support@cryptojebb.com with any prayer requests whatsoever, one of the people from our team takes that and prays over you all week. So if there's anything you guys just want, even if you're not a Christian, you just want somebody to be thinking about you and know that you're loved, send that in, please, because we care about you guys. The last one I have, and I've told you guys already, but I want to remind all of my green names. Tomorrow at 11:30, we will be having our membership stream. Put it on your calendar. If you want to get a green name to be in that, make sure you click that join button. There's a couple different options there. You guys can join us. It's always a blast, always fun. New segment in all membership streams now, Tim versus weddings. Ooh. We're going to come up with something in a wedding. I'm historically against, I love marriage. I love the institution of marriage. I hate weddings. So we're going to have, part of the discussion is going to be another topic about wedding situations. That's great. And why I hate it so much.
So I have something to announce on that member stream announcement. So I'm going to piggyback your announcement. Guys, tomorrow we're going to be discussing something. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm actually dead serious. Make sure you're there because, guys, we have something brewing. So a separate brew, okay? There's a lot of brews happening. This is a separate brew, okay? So a different brew, but we got something brewing here at the Coffee and Crypto channel team, and this is actually really important. We need your input. We need you. I'm pointing at you because we need you, which means I need every single green name to be there so you can get your input, your ideas, your thoughts, your valuable insights. We need them. So be there or be
somewhere else.
No, I did a square. I did be there, be square.
Oh, okay.
Tim, you're really in the typing. I sent it back to you, and you're like,
well, you didn't tell me you were sending it back to me. I'm responding to Nick West, who said, "How do you see that video since I'm new here?" And I was telling him it should pop up on his feed for all of our members, or if you go to our channel.
Yeah, go to the channel, go to the membership tab.
Let me know on chat. I know this is the longest close of all time. Let me know if you have a stupid face like mine. When you're typing or doing things, you guys got the intense lip. Like I also sometimes will stick a tongue out.
The dad typing lip.
So if you guys have a stupid face like me when you're working on something,
I don't think I have a stupid face when I type, but I definitely type stupidly. I literally type like this.
Listen, I love today's show, but this is probably the worst wrap up we have ever had to a show, and that's why we're special. Is because even when we suck, we're awesome.
For the almost 700 people.
Here we go. We're extending more.
For the almost 700 people watching, leave us a 1 in chat if you thought this was actually the best wrap up that you've ever seen.
That's right. 1 in chat. So anyways, Tim, I actually wanted to bring up something else.
All right, that is all we have for you guys today.
I'm starting my own reels on reels.
We will see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm suing you.
With that being said, though, have a nice day. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.